and welcome to the Triple Day Show with your host, me, Triple Day. This is episode 8 of Series 6. Alright, so I've got CDs, DVD, Blu-rays, and other stuff. Alright, first off is the CDs. We kick off with a band that my friend has actually said that I should listen to this album by this band because all the other albums have been totally shit. Um, that's that. So he recommended the Blackfield Brides album, Ratchet and Divine, The Story of the Wild Ones, but this is the deluxe edition, so it contains the DVD with it, the making of the album. Alright, next up is a band which I've been listening to, the 2 CDs what I've got, and a couple of other songs that I've been listening to as well. So I wanted to get these to add to the discography. I only need 3 more to complete it. I've got the band Coldplay, and this is their album Parachutes, and I've also got their album Ghost Stories as well. So this is in like a slipcase cover. But yeah. So Coldplay. Next is a band which I've only got one of the albums of, but again, my friend gave us the entire discography of them, and he recommended that I get some of these albums, but this album, he thought that I was like a bit 50-50, that I will like and I might not like. Right, got the band Cradle of Filth, and this is their album Pornography. Yep. Pornography. Right, next is a band which I've been, hip-hop group that I've been listening to because I've listened to one of the songs from the game Saints Row the 4th. I've been listening to a couple of other tracks as well online, so obviously enough I can get the gist of them. I got the band Cypress Hill, and this is their album Black Sunday. And yes, this one does contain the song Insane in the Brain. It's meant to be Insane in the Membrane, but it just says Insane in the Brain on the back. Next is an album to complete to add to my Dream Theater discography, because I've been getting into a lot of Dream Theater recently. Well, lately. So, I got the album Black Clouds and Silver Linings by Dream Theater. If you haven't listened to Dream Theater, I suggest that, just a suggestion, give them a listen to. They're actually really, really good. I wouldn't mind seeing them live. Right, next is an album which is like one of my favourite metal bands that I absolutely love. Because I got them a few albums by them, and this is just added to the discography. I got the band Judas Priest, and this is their album Stained Glass. So yeah, and on the side there, look, it's got the U. So maybe if I get more of the albums, it'll say a Judas Priest. Alright, next is quite possibly one of my favourite heavy metal bands, and also my mate has actually seen this band live at the Metro Radio Arena this year, because he's already seen them, and he said that they were really, really good, and he recommended that I get this album. He recommended Follow the Leader by Korn. Yeah, I don't get this, guys. The first 12 tracks on this one is silence, right? But the tracks on here are from 13 to 25. The first 12 ones are silence. Leave it in the comment section down below. Why do bands actually do that? I don't understand it fully. Alright, next up is a best of album. So it's a compilation. See, that's what I first started off with, when I sometimes want to get into bands. I start off with a best of or listen to their well-known song. It's the same with this band. Listen to their well-known song, got into them quite a lot, and that's that. So I got the band Styx, and this is their best of album. So which they got. And the song which I'm talking about is on the back there. It's Mr. Roboto. It's that one there. So yeah, got that. Alright, and last up the CDs. I got this one because it's their latest album which they brought out, and I've listened to quite a number of songs from this album, and it's actually really, really good. And I've got a few of their albums them as well. I got the deluxe edition of Trivium's album Silence in the Snow. Guess what? I got this one cheaper than what it is in HMV stores. And plus it was brand new as well, so obviously enough. Beat you HMV. Alright, next we move on to the only DVD which I got. The reason why I got this DVD for is because I don't know if you see my profile picture on my Facebook. Yeah, well, I dressed up like the bunny from the film Donnie Darko. I have watched this film. It's an average film. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It's just an average film which you can watch. Before we get into the Blu-rays, gotta take a sip of tea. Nice. Alright, so we're getting into the Blu-rays now. Alright, first off is, like as I said, I've got the second one of this film, and like before in the Trouble Day show before, I got the second film of this, and now I've got the first one. I've got 12 rounds, the extended harder cut version of it. So yeah, got that. It's really, really good. Next is a film which I like was actually wanting to get, but turned out to be quite a bore film. The only thing which I can say which is best about this film is the HAL 9000 that is in it, and HAL 9000 and the theme to it. I'm of course talking about Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey. This film is a bore, guys. Only watch it like if you're drinking or something like that. But don't take drugs. Anyway, next up is a Christmas film, which I thought wasn't a Christmas film, but until I heard that it was a Christmas film, and it's really, really good. And guess what? I've got the first one of it. Yep, I got Die Hard, the 2-disc edition of it, because I've got the second one. I've got the first one now. I only need Vengeance, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Die Hard 4.0, and Die Harder. Alright, next up I got a 2-movie in one that was in HMV on Blu-ray. It was only $6.99, and yeah, it's 2 Disney classics. I got Fun and Fancy Free and the Many Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Well, the Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. 2 movies in one, guys, for $6.99. You can't go wrong with that. Alright, next is a box set of a superhero movie, which I got. It contains 4 from the original and 1 from the shit one. I got Superman 5 film collection. This one does have Superman 1, Superman 2, Superman 3, Superman 4, the quest for peace, and Superman Returns, which in all honesty, Superman Returns is a shit one. It's the shittiest one out of the lot. And I haven't seen Man of Steel, so I can't judge on that. Alright, next is another Disney classic to add to my Disney Classic Blu-ray collection. I got Disney's 22nd classic, The Many Adventures of Winnie-the-Pooh. Yep, I honestly, I love my Disney classics. I love to get all of them. Alright, next is a film which is a crappy wrestler in it. Yep, he's not a very good wrestler in my own opinion. But I've got the film which has him in it, and he did a pretty decent job in the movie. It's not the best, it's not the worst, but he did a pretty decent job in it. So I got the Marine 3 Hornfront with The Miz in it. Yep, The Miz is the worst wrestler. Well, he's a bad wrestler. He can't even wrestle, for goodness sake. So why have him in the WWE? Alright, next is another two Disney movie collection, and these are classics as well. These are Disney's 23rd and 29th classics, The Rescuers and The Rescuers Down Under. There was only two classics that was able to get them a sequel, which are classics them as well. These two movies and Fantasia and Fantasia 2000. And last out the Blu-rays is a zombie film, which my uncle, honestly enough, loaned me the film. He let me borrow the film of this, and I actually sat down and watched it. It was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing. That's all I can say. And World War Z with Brad Pitt. He doesn't actually do a bad job in this film. He does a really good job, and plus the zombies are more smarter in this film than you would think. The zombies are getting way too smart, guys. Whatever happened to the old classic zombies? That's what I like. Alright, next, we move on to the other stuff. Alright, first off is I'll get through to the action figure first. Yep, I actually wanted to start a wrestling figurine collection. I've already got two. I've got Brodus Clay and Alberto Del Rio. And this one I got is it's the worst wrestler, but it's the wrestler no matter what. I got The Miz. Yeah. This was the only one that they had left in the Entertainer, but I will be going down back there to get more, before the end of this year. Hopefully I will do. Alright, next, let's start off with one of these plushies. I actually got this, after Halloween, before, they went out of stock. So, I got this plushie. I got Mickey Mouse as a vampire. Yep. So, yeah. He looks pretty decent. I know Halloween's over, but still, it's just added to the collection. We got this next. Alright, next, I got two items from when I went to the WWE event in the Metro Radio Arena. So I got Braun Strowman's sheet mask from the Wire family, because I actually wanted to actually get one of these. So you might probably think it's stupid, but I don't even give a shit. And next, I got a t-shirt of he's one of my favourite wrestlers. I got a t-shirt of Roman Reigns, which is hit hard and hit often. And on the back, it's got this little symbol there of Roman Reigns on the back. And then it says, "Believe that," as well. So obviously enough, Roman Reigns is actually a pretty decent wrestler. He should be champion. Alright, next, I got 3 plushies from where I work, and they're all from one film as well, for one Disney classic. I got Marie, Berlioz, and Toulouse and Berlioz. Sorry about that. So yeah, I got those 3, and they're not even that bad. This one, however, I will say, my nana had to stitch it up because it was ripped open at the top, but my nana stitched the off on us. So that was cool of her. And last, because it's Christmas, we're getting into the Christmas theme. I decided to get something from the Disney store, some Christmassy. So I got Dumbo, a little Christmas scarf and a little Christmas hat. Yeah, it's really cool. They didn't have him at Chip and Dale because as you can see on the radiator over there, I've been collecting the Christmas Chip and Dales. They didn't have any this year. That was actually pretty shit. So I got Dumbo instead. There was other ones, but I decided to get Dumbo. Alright, so that's been the Triple D show of episode 8 of series 6. Hope you've enjoyed it. And peace!